Stand up, the Vanguard!
Alright, what's up Cardfighters? Clark here from Vanguard Central, coming at you with a updated Okafor deck with the Transcore Stride and the Transcore Grade 3. So our starter is Officer Cadet Andre. I like him the most just because he enables battles, and which I believe is the most important in Okafor, regardless of the drawing into twos and stuff like that. I mean, you can always switch him for the Grade 3 Searcher just for consistency issues, but he is by far my favorite. Going into our Stride Zone, we have two Storm Dominator Commander Thavis. I think the Thavis Andre combo with Magnum or High Tide and Foivis can be really deadly early game because it's so much shield out of your opponent's hand, and it activates GB2 for Anger Boil since he is in this deck as well. But yeah, he allows people to attack from the back row, which is ridiculous. Then we have two Blue Wave Tetra Boil Stride, our Restanding Stride, and one of our late game finishers in case you ride Tetra Drive or Anger Boil in the deck. And then Lambros, multi-attack God, gives plus 10k to 2 rear guards, and he can whittle down a hand from 10 to 1 immediately. And then our two Transcore Strides. So you might be wondering why this is at 222 for everything. Just because I feel like this is the most flexible out of all of them. You could even add an Aristotle in this deck, for more budgety reasons if you can't get a Lambros or anything like that, or Thavis. And Blue Flight Martial Dragon, Mithril Dragon. His skill is that whenever your unit's attack hits, your opponent must discard a card, or you're allowed to draw 2 cards. So it's like a super huge minus in case any of your multi-attack restanding cards hit. You can just throw a title on the board, get the third battle condition, and then have a Magnum on the other side and just like destroy them for their hand, so they don't let you draw 2 and things like that. So it's really good. I mean, the other switch I would make is if I would bump this up to 4 and just go 4 with him and 4 with Tetra if I wanted to, but I think this is the most flexible for my preferential reasons. Next we have two Blue Wave Dragon Anger Boil. I think his Stride Break is ridiculous, and his GB2 is still really, really good in this deck. And then we have two Blue Wave Dragon Tetra Drive Dragon. So it goes combos absolutely well with Transcore, making it one of the best combos I remember in that time, with Transcore and Tetra Drive just losing cards in your hand and gaining criticals all day. So really, really good card, and they fulfill the names that you need. And then I have 4 Transcore Dragon. This is in order to be able to get him in your hand, and it fixes things like not having to use like the Grade 3 Searcher and things like that. You can always switch up the ratios for 3 Transcore, 3 Tetra Drive, and 2 Anger Boil, but it's all preference. Our Grade 2s for flexibility purposes are 2 High Tide Sniper to be deadly on almost every turn, as long as that soul is pretty fat, but really good card. 2 Blue Wave Marine General Foivis. He's only at 2, even though he's a really good card. Because of Transcore, he would be dead on those plays, so I want to keep him at 2 just because he's better with Tetra Drive and Anger Boil. So the variety that the Grade 3s brings allows this to happen. So you can go for any like super combos at any point in the game. And then staple, we have 4 Tidal Assault to just enable battles all day, and then 4 Magnum Assault to enable battles as well during G turns. Next we have 2 Stacia to hit from the back row, 3 Orthea with Resist, just to combo off with High Tide and have them restand even regardless if they share soul or not. But you know, it's a really deadly combo if you do get it off and just stack triggers all on High Tide. Then we have 4 Kelpie Rider, because if you're not striding, you're not making plays happen with this deck unless you go for break right turn, you know. And 4 regular Perfect Guards, because this deck doesn't really counterblast outside the grade 2s, which is Magnum and Foivis, and then your starter and the Stride. Yeah, Stride for Tetra Boil. So running the regular PGs seem more viable if if you run into a lot of Dimension Police players in your local card shop. Next, 3 Battle Sister Malika for that extra 3k power and to fill soul. 4 heals. The 3 Supersonic Sailor for unflipping. 2 of the Kelpie Rider Petros for Thavas turns to fill soul and draw a card, or just to have a more aggressive base deck. And 4 crits of the Blue Waves Soldier Brutal Trooper. So I went for a more aggressive build, because I felt that if I was whittling down someone's hand, which means like tearing it apart, that was the way I would plus, because they won't have enough cards to battle back while I have like 5 or 6 in a sense. So that would be my reasoning. I would just change it to 7-5 if I saw that there was no consistency early game, but so far it's playing out decently. Alright, I hope you guys liked our Transcore update of our Aquaforce deck. It is pretty deadly, and the break right turn is absolute a must when they play grade 2 game. But if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe. Vanguard Central out.